Good morning. This is Curtis Chandler. I'm president of PFL. We hope that everyone had a fantastic weekend. Stocks closed mixed on Friday of last week and mixed week over week. The Dow fell 309.74 points on Friday of last week, but was up 100.38 points week over week. The S&P closed lower 3.38 points on Friday of last week, but was up 5.31 points week over week. The Nasdaq rose 30.23 points on Friday of last week, but was down 103.95 points week over week. Dow futures are expected to open down 38 points from Friday's close this Monday morning. WTI crude rose $1.40 per barrel on Friday of last week to close at $60.06 per barrel, which was up 31 cents per barrel week over week. Brent climbed to $64.39 per barrel on Friday of last week. Crude imports dropped to 5.2 million barrels per day, which was down 703,000 barrels per day week over week. Crude oil exports fell sharply to 2.816 million barrels, which was down 1.5 million barrels per day week over week. U.S. crude inventories rose to 6.4 million barrels, now sitting at 4% below the 5-year average for this time of year. Gasoline stocks fell 900,000 barrels and are 4% below the 5-year average for this time of year. Distillate inventories decreased by 600,000 barrels and are now sitting at 8% below the 5-year average for this time of year. Propane stocks decreased by 700,000 barrels but remain 16% above the 5-year average for this time of year. Propane prices fell to 61 cents per gallon, which was down 4 cents per gallon week over week. Petroleum carloads continued the momentum rise, rising 400 cars week over week to a four-week average of 29,313 carloads. North American rail traffic for the week ending November 8th totaled 679,267 carloads and intermodal units, which was down 0.1% from last year. U.S. traffic was down 4.9%. Year-to-date North American volume is up 1.9%. Non-metallic minerals led gains with 3,753 additional carloads, while motor vehicles dropped to 1,436. Canadian intermodal surged by 60.4%, a notable spike. North American rig count fell by 2. The U.S. added 1 rig and are at 549 rigs. Canada lost 3 and are now sitting at 188 rigs working out there. Here's what caught our eye last week. The Cenovus Meg acquisition is now final. The $6.1 billion deal closed after receiving court approval on November 12th. All regulatory clearances are complete. Meg's 110,000 barrels per day will immediately be added to Cenovus' portfolio, with plans to boost production to 150,000 barrels per day. California's aggressive truck regulations hit a speed bump. A federal judge blocked CARB from enforcing its clean truck partnership against OEMs following the state's SEV mandate. See PFL's rail report for further details. The UP and S merger passed overwhelmingly last week with 99.5 UP support and 99% NS support. The deal now enters a critical STB review phase. UP plans to file a formal application by December. However, opposition is mounting. 9 public attorneys, all Class 1 companies and chemical industries oppose. Labor remains supportive following job protection agreements. Weak container imports signal trouble ahead. October volumes fell 0.1% month over month. only the second time in a decade. Shippers front-loaded imports early in the year due to tariff anxiety. November volumes are projected to be down by 14.4% year over year, and December volumes are projected to be down 17.9% year over year. Left-wing Prime Minister Carney's budget promises are facing reality checks. See PFL for further details on that one, our report that is. And in case you missed it, the U.S. Mint struck its last penny on Wednesday of last week in Philadelphia. Despite more than 200 years of circulation, the penny finally succumbed to production costs. The final pennies will be will be auctioned off. For the latest and greatest updates on equipment for sale, lease, or customized rail solutions, contact us here at PFL. Remember, we clean, flare, service, and store rail cars across North America. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week with another update on what's moving the North American rail and energy markets. Please make sure you read this week's PFL Rail Report and pass it on to friends and colleagues. It's free and we do it all for you. We hope that everyone has a great week and be safe out there.